the Come On In Sports Network.
NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Welcome to Come On In NFL, presented by the Come On In Sports Network. I'm Dolph Jackson, and as you can see, I'm joined by my brothers. I'm going to let my brothers introduce themselves.
What's going on, everybody? Lawrence here, SNS Bills Talk. Glad to be with you. Glad to be towards the end of the season. Playoffs coming. Lots of exciting stuff happening.
And Jeremy Grethel from Come On In Bills and Beware the Stampede. So hope everybody's doing well tonight on this this late evening. Join us after another Week 17 of football as we wind down the regular season. And there's still a lot to play for a lot of teams.
A lot to play for, man. Some good football this week, man. A really good game last night, man. Falcons almost did what the Falcons do, but they were able to hold on. Bijan Robinson, gentlemen, how special is this young man?
Oh, we as Bills fans, we very much well know the potency of one Bijan Robinson. He destroyed the Bills earlier this year, but the unfortunate part for him is just his team's success is kind of holding him back because everyone talks about CMC and James Cook and Jonathan Taylor. To me, as much as I love Cook, Bijan's at the top of the list of what he's able to do, catching the ball, running the ball, explosive plays, like power, speed. Like he is the full combo complement, and he again showed it again last night why the Falcons did draft him where they did.
Yeah, that was just that 93-yard run, man. It was like once he got through that arm tackle, man, it was over. He really didn't look like he was really running hard. But again, he's just a pleasure. I've enjoyed watching that young man since his days at the University of Texas. I hated to see him go to the Falcons, but as a fan of football, I just love to watch the young man play football. And speaking of football, Monday Night Football, gentlemen, the Chicago Bears took on the San Francisco 49ers. And in this game, family, it seemed like, guys, we had a touchdown waiting around each corner. You score, I score. I mean, you had it. It had every type of big play you can think of in this game. And again, when people look at games like this, they say that was a great game. I look at 42-38 and say it was an exciting game, but one defense gave up 42, the other one gave up 38. I'm just saying. So what was your thoughts on this game last night, gentlemen?
I mean, I guess I'll go. Caleb Williams, man. He is the real deal. I really didn't know last year at the end of the year if he was really the quarterback that everyone thought he was going to be, and that team was going to take the step forward, kind of like we talked about CJ Stroud a little bit on Sunday, right? Being able to take that step to the next level. Man, that kid can play. What do you have? 330 and 2 tutties. I mean, he's just he's airing it out on that team, and a team that you really expect the run game to be that sneaky thing that really pushes them forward. He really took that team last night and kind of took it on upon himself to keep the Bears in it. C-Mac had 140 yards. I mean, it was offense everywhere. It was great. I mean, that's exactly what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I hate these 6-3 defensive games, right? Like I want to see the 48, 32-48, whatever, 48-32 games. And just see offense all over the place. I find it way more exciting. Maybe because I'm a Thunder fan, right? So I like offense.
Lawrence?
No, I mean, Jeremy nailed it. Caleb. And I think it speaks to coaching. Ben Johnson going there and you see what Detroit has become when they lost their coordinators at the beginning of the year. Everybody talked about what's the impact of Detroit losing their 2 coordinators. And say what you will about Dan Campbell, coaching, like, assistants matter, and the fall off was clear on both sides of the ball. Ben Johnson, who was kind of like the creme de la creme of the coaching crop last year, Chicago bagged him because they needed somebody for their quarterback. And after the early season growing pains, you're starting to see Caleb Williams' growth. But I think it's a blending and a melding of Caleb and Ben Johnson. That's the difference. Plus, Roma Dunze and, like, the young receivers are stepping up as DJ Moore's kind of fallen off. So, I mean, as long as Chicago's defense keeps being fortuitous with getting the turnovers like they have, they're going to be a really tough team to handle in the postseason.
But DJ Moore is one of those. He's a wide receiver that he shows up and he goes away. Like, you don't know which version you're going to get. He's very much a Jekyll and Hyde type of receiver this year. But when he's on, and he's dynamite, he's what you expect. But then there's weeks he's just invisible, and you're like, is he even on the field?
But with this game, did show that if he's not on, Jeremy, they have 2 young players they can count on. Yeah. Luther Burton III and Colston Loveland. I mean, 2 excellent selections for them this year. Those two kids are really, really stepping their game up. And what I liked last night, Monday night, was the Bears showed that they can score 30 or more. And that's the one thing. We know they have an opportunistic defense. It's like when you're getting up in the playoff and you're going against the Rams defense, the Eagles defense, can you score enough to beat them? And right now, I believe the Bears do. They got a punishing running game. They got 2 tight ends, because I like Clement.
Yep.
Luther Burton III, Roma Dunze will be back hopefully for the playoff. And like you say, Caleb Williams, man, Ben Johnson has unlocked, I believe, the full potential of Caleb Williams, and he still has a lot of growing to do. He's just going to get better, but really like what the Bears did last night. Unfortunately, they came up short because this man here, Brock, Mr. Irrelevant himself, the greatest 7th round selection in the history of the NFL, just went out of his mind last night as he threw how many? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 tutties last night, man. Man, talk about Brock Purdy. And guys, the 49ers are playing for the number 1 seed Sunday.
Which is wild. I mean, they could lock up home field advantage all the way until the Super Bowl. They could literally have home field advantage through the playoffs and have the Super Bowl at home, which is just unreal to think about. And honestly, it's funny because you look at Purdy and it was like, man, was he going to be the guy? Was it going to be, was Trey Lance going to be the next great coming of San Francisco? And then he goes down, and that was the end of it. And Brock Purdy, here we are, now a legend in San Francisco at the moment. And man, that guy can play. And you have him and a healthy C-Mac on that team. That's a dangerous combo right now.
Yeah, Jawan Jennings came through last night, 38-yard touchdown from Brock Purdy. And
he had a quiet night otherwise. Beyond that, he had 40, 42, 43 yards. So it wasn't even like a big night, but he came through in the clutch.
We haven't even mentioned Kittles.
Yeah.
Kittle was hurt, and Tanja's kind of showed, hey, I can do something. But I think the biggest thing that Purdy does, how much flack did he save? And he might have saved jobs of what they traded up to get Trey Lance. The 49ers are so fortunate that worked out the way it did, because they kind of sold the farm a little bit and put everything in that basket that proved to be a disaster. So he kind of saved John Lynch. He saved Shanahan.
For sure.
And again, the Niners just, I want the difference between last year and this year, like they had so many injuries last year and folded. They're showing a real toughness this year of like, man, they've lost Bosa. They lost Fred Warner. Kittle's been out a lot. They had Purdy missing a quarter of the season. And they just, this year, they're not missing a beat. They're in the, like Jeremy said, in the running for the number 1 seed. I know Mike Vrabel's probably going to win Coach of the Year for what his turnaround in that, but Shanahan's got to be in the mention there of just being able to hold this thing together and keep the Niners where they are.
I mean, to weather that storm. And speaking of Trey Lance, he will be starting this week for the Chargers. So Trey Lance
Okay.
getting a start. Not that it's probably gonna matter for much because it won't, but
Man, I mean, when you look at the QB battle last night, Caleb Williams, 25 of 42, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a QB rating of 100. Brock Purdy, 24 of 33, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. I said 5, but he had 3. He had a rating of 118.6. His yards per attempt was 9.2. Again, great football, two young quarterbacks. And as I was watching that game, guys, I started to think, we know that the heydays of the NFL, when you had your Brady's, your Breeze, you had your Aaron Rodgers, you had your Big Bens. Are we getting back to that now? With today's quarterbacks, we got Josh Allen, we got Mahomes, but these young quarterbacks like Purdy, who I think is highly disrespected around the National Football League, not by his peers, but when I say National Football League, I'm talking about those who cover it, the media, and fan bases throughout, who think he's just a product of the system. But we see when he is back, he elevates this team. They're better. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think there's still the world. I don't know if it gets back to the world of the Big Bens and more of the pocket passers than anything else. I think you look at some of these quarterbacks, even like a Drake May, right? Like, I hate to bring up Drake May because he plays for the Patriots, but he's probably going to win MVP at this point. But you still have a lot of mobility in some of these quarterbacks. I think the difference between the quarterbacks that we're seeing nowadays as opposed to what we used to see back in, we'll say, the 90s, 80s, early 2000s, they're more mobile, right? They can step out of the pocket. They're not necessarily going to be a Josh Allen where they're running for 60, 70 yards in a game, but they can manage to extend plays with their legs that other quarterbacks didn't or wouldn't back in the day, where they would just stand there, take the hit, or they would just throw it away. It's where, like Purdy last night, prime example, where you saw him breaking out, down the side, making that pass. Like, these guys are not afraid to break out of the pocket and run and scramble if they need to extend them. Granted, it also burns you. Like when Josh Allen took that nasty sack for like a minus 20 yards, but that's huge for your team if you can extend those plays.
So what I'm saying is not just in the aspects of putting them in the box as a pocket quarterback.
You're just saying like a good cluster of quarterbacks. Like
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
High quality play from the
absolutely.
quarterback position. And I think we got a lot of young quarterbacks in this league, like Purdy, like Justin Herbert. Listen, a guy that a lot of people like to beat up on, Liam Combs seems to have unlocked something with Trevor Lawrence now. So, I mean, I believe the league is in a good place right now. And Joe Burrow was hurt this past season. He came back and, he didn't look like himself down the stretch, but we know what type of player he is. We all look forward to Mahomes coming back, except 9, can't stand him on the Coach YouTube and the entire deal is mafia, but I'm just saying, but I just like the place that the league is in, because for a while, man, we were getting some shiesty play at the quarterback position around the league.
And even look at how deep it is, right? Like, take the Packers, for instance. Like, I love this guy, and I've talked about him several times. Malik Willis. Like, man, I hope he goes somewhere where he starts. I liked him when he got drafted out of Liberty. I still like the kid. I think he was just not in the right spot in Tennessee.
Yes.
Man, they bring him to Green Bay and immediately impact on that team. And I think he just has that raw talent and potential. And you see it every time he comes in to fill in. He just balls out every single time he goes in. And yes, occasionally he makes a mistake, but man, that kid can play, and he is being wasted sitting on the bench. It kills me every time.
He needs to take a page out of Daniel Jones's playbook, because he's a free agent this offseason.
Yes.
He needs to he needs to take a smaller deal, but at a place where he can thrive and has a legitimate chance to start. Yeah. I look at the Vikings as like McCarthy keeps getting hurt. He's not shown what he's needed to. Jefferson's frustrated. to me, I go to Minnesota to take my chances because if he can win that job, you've seen what the Vikings can be when they have a quarterback.
Man.
But that's what you should.
Flores defense.
But they have that jumping into the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, and don't forget, free agent to be Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's played his last game in Arizona. I think he's
gone.
Oh yeah.
I think he's gone. Well, guys, let's move on. And this game here, baby, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let my brothers just take the ham on this one. Man, talk to me about this one. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna enjoy this. What the hell? Why the hell didn't your coach go for the field goal? They were tied, man.
I'll tell you why. Our Badgley had been with us for 2 weeks and missed 2 extra points and shanked the kickoff out of bounds. I don't blame him for not trusting him. Imagine if he missed the extra point, we lose by that. I'd rather lose with the ball in Josh Allen's hand.
Yeah.
And the thing everybody misses is like it was there. Josh panicked because he'd been that's the effect of pressure. He had time to, if he steps up through to the left, he doesn't have to throw off his back foot. But that's where the Eagles' constant pressure just eventually wore him down and then enabled the pass to go incomplete. But it's a microcosm of the Bills' season. This is an example of what will happen in the playoffs when they play good teams. They can't crap the bed for 3 quarters and expect to come back and win every single time. When you play a team like the Eagles that are championship caliber, you'd have no margin for error, and they showed that Sunday. And when I saw Josh pissed off at the end, I was really hoping that kind of lit a fire under him because he just doesn't seem like the fiery guy that I've seen in the past. And I hope that kind of like is the trigger to ignite playoff Josh, which is historically like one of the statistically best playoff quarterbacks in history.
No. I go back and forth on this between the extra point and the 2-point, and obviously hindsight's 20/20, right? So I can sit here all day and debate with myself. Part of me says you go for the kick, and yeah, I know we've got kicking problems. We released him. We're on the kicker carousel, which I really hope we figure out sometime soon here. But man, it's one of those. It's like they didn't complete a pass for the Eagles in the second half. Like you take that to overtime. You're probably going to pull that out the way we were playing and the way the Eagles were playing, right? Now, granted, again, hindsight, but the 2-point conversion, it's like you win or you get nothing, right? I feel like with overtime, the way that game was going, you try to take the extra point. He should, and I'm going to say should. Obviously, he has his issues, and hence the reason he's gone. But he should, as an NFL kicker, be able to make that the majority of the time. So I feel like take it, go for it, make the kick, go into overtime. I mean, you end up with the same result. If you miss the kick or you miss the 2-point conversion, it's still a loss, right? But I feel like our chances would have been better going into overtime. I think part of it, though, looking at the 2-point, Josh was kind of injured, so he's struggling through that. And, I feel like McDermott, he wants to take the win when he can get it, and I admire that. But I don't know. The way that defense was playing against the Eagles and just the complete inept of the Eagles offense in the second half, I feel like take it to overtime because you're probably going to pull it out. But
yeah, what did they have? Like 16 yards in the second half?
I think it was 17
yards.
Half. No passes completed. Like to me, I'm like, look, you take them to overtime, you should win this game. Period. But it is what it is. Were we going to win the AFC East? Probably not. Honestly, anyway, like more than likely not. So it is what it is. The Bills get in the playoffs. That's the main thing.
You lose 13-12, and this is Jalen Carter blocks the field goal. I mean,
Jalen Carter.
First game back from injury, and his presence was felt. That defense for the Eagles, I mean, they set the tone early with the strip sack.
Don't even get started on a strip sack.
Yeah.
The Bills got penalized by the stupidest rule the NFL has of letting every ball go, and then they have the burden of it has to be clear and concise. Call what you see it on the field. That's the biggest piece of garbage that there is in the NFL, aside from fumbling out of the end zone and the other team gets it at the 20-yard line. That's another garbage thing. Yeah, but if they had ruled it like it should have been, like he was passing, the ball slipped, but it's still his arms going forward. That's a pass. And then they challenge it from there. the burden's on proving it's a fumble.
Yep.
Right.
Now, I'm not like Josh should have taken the easy check down to Hawes to begin with instead of trying to be Superman like he did all throughout the game and it fails. But I don't want to take things away from the Eagles. The Eagles defense was fantastic. The Eagles defense is championship caliber. They had gotten gouged by the Bears for over 200 yards like a month earlier, and the Bills had the number 1 rushing attack, and they held it in check. So if I'm an Eagles fan, it's like, my God, like one half of our team is like really good. And then how are the Eagles that bad on offense with what they have? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a really interesting playoffs this year because I've said this before, and I think you guys would agree with this. I look at right now the playoff seeding, and I'm like, man, it is anybody's game this year. There's any team that can walk away with it this year, and I think
unless the Steelers win the division.
Well, yeah.
But if the Ravens win, I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
I don't want to play the Texans. That's the team I still don't want to play. I will die on that hill. I don't want the Texans. I want to avoid them at all costs because that team.
And then the NFC South, the winner of Saturday's game has to see what happens with the Saints and Falcons to figure out who wins the division. That'd be the most NFC South thing to ever happen.
Hey, we go end it in a tie just because we don't like neither one of them. We go end in a tie.
Probably.
You and the Falcons are the 2 best teams in the division right now, the last month of the year.
Oh yeah, without a question of doubt, we are. That's not saying a lot, but hey, listen, if we win Sunday, we have opportunity to finish in second place in the NFC South,
which is wild,
which is crazy. So, hey, we can win the division next year. So,
I mean, honestly,
you can't.
No, really, we can. I'm serious.
That they have got some pieces. They just had to figure it all out. But man, they are clicking.
Well, it's clicking when you get a look. Looks like we got a quarterback to build around in 2026. That young man right there. Shuck him, baby. So we went to Tennessee. He went up against, shout out to ECG, East Coast Gridiron. Shout out, man, to Logan and Dante, my boy Logan. He's a Giants fan. Very, very knowledgeable, man. I love that young man, man. He knows his football. But he got a little hostile, but it's okay. Still love you, my brother. I see you in Mobile. And we laugh about it. But it was talking about Jackson Dart and Tyler Shuck. I won't take anything away from Jackson Dart. I can't. Jackson Dart's a baller. I believe the Giants have their franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart. But the question was, what can Jackson Dart do that Tyler Shuck can't do? To me, there's nothing.
Nothing, honestly.
They are both 2 young quarterbacks who are right now in situations that is going to take them some time. One looks to be on the way because he has stability now with his first year head coach. Now Jackson Dart, he has to wait a whole off season to see who's going to come in, and then he's got to see if he's going to mesh with that guy, and that guy's got to determine if Jackson Dart's the guy that he wants to go forward with. So that's something to look at. And as for Tyler Shuck, what he has done, he has allowed the New Orleans Saints not to jump and be forced to take someone with the first, second, or third pick in the draft. And when I say someone, I'm talking about a quarterback that really is not worthy of that selection at that point in the draft. What he has done, he has sped up this rebuild process for the Saints. He's on a rookie contract. You have him on a rookie contract for the next 3 years. The cap situation is better for the Saints next year. And the year after that, they're over $100 million in the green. So things are looking up. You're going to have some really big decisions to make this offseason. Have we seen the last of Cam Jordan? I say no. Rotation. He has 9.5 sacks this year.
Yeah.
DeMario Davis at 36 just set a career high in tackles with 137. Amazing. Alvin Kamara loves it. Doesn't want to go anywhere else. How does the organization feel though? We it's going to be a really interesting offseason. But one thing that has, besides Tyler Shuck, which is the most important player of this previous draft for the Saints, but the rest of this draft, the Saints, this draft class has proven to be the best class for the Saints since their glorified 2017 draft that they had, where they had Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, man, who else? They just was loaded, man. They had so many. Abdul Muhammad. I'm forgetting a lot of people, man. The safety, I want to forget him after that Minnesota Miracle, but but you know, things are looking up for this organization. You got Chris Olave. They would definitely be re-signing Chris Olave. He's over 100 receptions for the year.
I mean, last year, he literally just reinvigorated his career.
Yeah, the young man was really thinking about retiring, and rightly so. It was scary what happened to him. And you know, during the offseason, you had a lot of people, including myself, say, man, think about your life after football. You want to be able to function as a human being after football. Glad he's back. He's having fun. And since Tyler Shuck has been inserted, he has just went off, man. Jawan Johnson. Now that contract that he signed looks good because he's producing. And all this started, this uptick with Jawan Johnson, with Chris Olave started when Tyler Shuck took over. The kid has played far beyond what any of us thought, and he has the New Orleans Saints organization in a position that themselves did not think that he'll be playing this good right now. And I got to give kudos to Coach Kellen Moore on this, because those who cover the team, a lot of them were saying if they would have started Tyler Shuck from the beginning of the season, they could be fighting for the NFC South right now and for the playoffs. I say no. I say he made the right decision by not starting Tyler Shuck. You start Spencer Rattler, you let Rattler go out there. And by the way, Spencer Rattler did improve, but Spencer Rattler wasn't the reason the Saints weren't winning, but he wasn't the reason that the Saints were winning games.
Agree with that 100%. 100%.
That's the difference with Tyler Shuck. He has won games. The Saints have won games because of Tyler Shuck, and he has elevated the play of those around him. Kevin Austin Jr., who he worked with on the scout team, has chemistry with him, throws him his first touchdown pass this week. So the Saints are trending in the right way, 4-game winning streak. And I'm telling you now, if he goes to Atlanta and he beats the Falcons Sunday, we might build him a statue before they get back to New Orleans. If he beats the Falcons Sunday, baby, listen, nothing will make this offseason better than to close it out by beating the Falcons. And for all of y'all who don't know, this is one of the most underappreciated rivals in all the NFL. This is like a college atmosphere. You got busloads of fans from both teams traveling to each city. People have become like family because they see each other 2 times a year over the years. I mean, this here is like, it's almost like a backyard brawl, like Auburn against Alabama. This is what type of game this is. And Sunday, it is on and popping in A-Town, and we go stomp all over them Falcons. Shout out to my brother, Cowboy.
Yeah.
Falcons fan, baby. I know he sits back there worried, laughing at me. He might jump off. Don't jump off me, Cowboy. You know I'm going to talk my talk, man. All right, man. And before I move on, man, what about that play Chase Young made? The strip Cam Ward of the ball and take it to the house. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a hell of a play. He sacked him, stripped the ball while he was going down, took it out of his hand, and returned it for a touchdown.
I mean, speaking of reviving careers, look at Chase Young.
8.5 sacks.
I mean, this is the Chase Young Washington was hoping they had after his first season when he had 7.5 sacks, and then he just nosedive from there, and now he comes to the Saints, and all of a sudden he's he's gone back 5 years to his, rookie self and just hauling out.
He came last year on a 1-year prove-it deal. He proved it. They re-signed him.
Man, looks like a great move now.
He missed the first 5-6 games, but now just set a career high, 8.5 sacks. His first touchdown in the NFL. So, or second, I believe he said it was his second touchdown. So, man, shouts out to Chase Young, man, the New Orleans Saints. All right. The battle of the Sunshine State. These are not the two best teams in the state of Florida. The best team in the state of Florida is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And where do we start with this one? What the hell has happened to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Lawrence, I'm going to let you take this one to start us off.
Well, it's kind of crazy to think about. They've won one game since Halloween. That, like, when you looked at what they have and who they are and who they have been since Baker Mayfield took over, it's just kind of crazy. But they're one of the teams that just seems to be lacking like something this year. There's a few that are like what is just like the Lions, like they kind of face planted. The Buccaneers are face planting left and right. Like Baker's numbers are still decent, just like they're not making the clutch plays. Their defense is allowing big plays at inopportune times. Todd Bowles' seat's got to be pretty hot at this point, I imagine. And I don't know, like Quinn. I did not think Quinn Ewers and the injury-ravaged Dolphins were going to put BTA like they did to the Buccaneers on Sunday. It was one of those games I have two TVs. I have my 100-inch TV with one main game with sound.
Dang.
And then I got my 60-inch to the left of it with a split screen, like 4 games on at once on Sundays. So that's one of the games I had on the 4. So it's not like I'm glancing at it. And I just kept looking over. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is happening with this? So I don't know what it is. Like each week it seems to be a different, and that seems to be the problem. You know, those old like the cartoons where they plug one hole and 3 more sprung open.
Yeah.
Like and they ran out of fingers to put into the holes. It seems like that's what the Bucs are. Like they've said, all right, we got this part fixed. Now something else leaks over here. Like they just can't duct tape the whole thing. They need to get one of those Flex Seal things from the infomercials plastered all over there, and that's how they win it. If they win, they can still not win the division, right? If the Falcons
win, they out.
The Bucs win, the Panthers get in.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'll take a tie, so none of them get in, but yeah, but hey, somebody got to get in, man. And speaking of Quinn Ewers, Quinn Ewers threw his first career touchdown to rookie wide receiver Theo Wise Jr. And Miami got 2 first-half touchdowns from their young quarterback. How do you think Quinn Ewers handled himself in his first start?
I think all in all, he did the things he needed to do. He didn't make stupid mistakes. They leaned on A-Chain still a decent amount. I think he put up almost 90 yards. Just do what your team is good at, right? Honestly, just give the ball to A-Chain. That's all you need to do on the Dolphins. That's
been Miami's strength for a couple. Like I have not understood why he has not been their focal point for years.
It doesn't make any sense because it should be.
Then run the play action off that with your speedy wide receivers. That should be the offense, not the other way around. So, I think they're going to keep McDaniels, first of all. Like,
really?
I think he bought time. I'm with you, man.
Winning games. I think they're going to keep him, which sucks because I wanted the Bills to take him as their offensive coordinator because I love his schemes. But I think this is kind of open his eyes. Like, hey, look what happens when Achane becomes a focal point of our offense.
Right.
If we can get middle of the road quarterback play, they're going to be there. Like Miami's had the talent for years. They've always been considered a soft team that is mentally frail, and their head coach has kind of been that kind of awkward guy. But the pieces are there. So if they can just get a quarterback who isn't just a dink and dunker, they could be something.
And what about Tua? It's going to be too much for them to move on from. It's going to be about an $80 million cap hit. Let me know, Dolphin Nation, if I'm wrong about that, but I know it's substantial.
It's going to be like Brock Osweiler. They're going to pay somebody to take the money. They're going to send draft picks like they did, was it to the Browns?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they traded Osweiler, and they gave draft picks plus Osweiler essentially for them to eat the salary for them.
It's a huge hit.
What team wants to do that? What team offhand? Give me two teams.
I don't know. I'm just saying that should be their goal. Is maybe
nobody.
Somebody eats half of it.
Right.
But the problem is with his injuries injuries and the concussions, and I mean everyone thinks about the concussions he's had in the NFL. Everyone forgets about the concussions he had in college. He had a boatload of concussions. Like,
right.
I'm not
take
disagreeing.
That chance?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's a ticking time bomb. That's what it is. Before he's out.
I have a bunch of Dolphin friends, and they hated the contract the instant Tua signed it.
Right.
Because like he's getting paid as one of the best. Then whenever he plays the best quarterbacks, they see the difference on the field of like, all right, look at Tua against Justin Herbert, Josh Allen twice a year. Like they see this is what an $80 million a year quarterback looks like, not our 6'0" dink and dunker, one hit away from his career being ended guy.
However,
silly contract.
Are they really going to rely? And let's just say they take Ewers and they run with Ewers next year. Are they really going to rely on Zach Wilson as the backup quarterback? Like, you don't want to go on the 2-1 case? I'm just saying.
There's a reason he's not starting in front of Ewers.
I mean, I'm just saying though, like, this is where I always look at things. I'm like, I haven't looked at our team. Like, backup quarterbacks. Like, there are so many guys out there. I'm like, this is the best of some of these.
I'd trade for Spencer Rattler as our backup quarterback.
Oh hell yeah! And I would love that. Absolutely.
But Lamar Jackson, Miami Dolphin next year. Put it down.
Who?
I mean,
Lamar Jackson, Miami Dolphin.
Wild.
Lamar, man.
That would be a nasty.
I would hate it.
Offense.
I would hate it.
But
that would be horrible.
Watch it now.
Dude, him and Achan.
Is that just a feeling, or you got some sources?
The Baltimore guy who covers them for like an actual like media outlet, not just some random guy, talked about how like he falls asleep in a meeting, he stays up late playing video games. He has a desire to play. Like that's from a couple weeks ago, from an actual legitimate reporter who wrote that story. And then you also have like Nick Wright talking about how there's that disconnect there between the Ravens and Lamar. So I mean, there's a lot of smoke. So I'm assuming there's a little bit of a fire there. And Miami, desperate for a quarterback for a long time, that'd be a huge splash for them.
If Lamar Jackson doesn't reach a Super Bowl in his career, will his legacy be tarnished? Just reach it. No, I ain't say win it. Just reach it.
I don't think it's tarnished, but I think it keeps him out of that conversation of those historic upper echelon quarterbacks. Like, I love Allen, but I feel like that's kind of a similar thing with Allen. But he falls in a little different way just because of the records he just continuously breaks. But even then, that's like one of those things. It's like a pinnacle of being a quarterback. Like, you got to get to that big game. And Lamar, I feel like it's slipping away more and more by the year at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at Phillip Rivers. To me, that's like all the stuff he did in his career. Like, when people talk about the best ever, do they think of him? Like, he's statistically up there.
Yeah.
And then the opposite, look at Eli Manning, whose 2 Super Bowl runs are somehow going to get him in the Hall of Fame when he's a 500 quarterback the rest of his career. There's way too much of an emphasis put on Super Bowl runs when it's a team sport. And so 2 postseason runs get you in the Hall of Fame is essentially what they're saying with Eli Manning. So yes, in that sense, Dolph, if he doesn't make it because they put such an emphasis on the Super Bowl, it's gonna hurt his legacy.
Gotcha.
Like Jeremy said, same with Josh. If he doesn't make it, it's the biggest waste. The Bills the Bills 100% the biggest ball in the history of the NFL.
Right.
They should have fired McDermott after 13 seconds because he ruined it then. But
agreed.
I'm not going down that slope because I don't want to get fired up at 9:46 at night.
Let's move on, man. All right. Seattle goes into Carolina. This game was actually closer than the score will say, but my God, what the hell? What do we make of Bryce Young? You
He's
passed
not
for 400 yards against the Falcons, and then you go out in this contest and you pass for how much? 16 yards. He had 16 yards in his game at one time. 16.
That's too much of that for the Panthers for him. You talk about the other quarterback who stepped up, like Lawrence and Caleb Williams in year 2. Bryce has made a step forward, but he was so far back to begin with. Plus, he's so small. His step forward's like an itty bitty step compared. His is like millimeters. Everyone else is taking centimeter and inch steps. He's taking those itty bitty millimeter steps on the ruler. So yes, he took a step forward, but he's tiny and it's a millimeter, so it's not really that much farther.
My God, he threw the ball 24 times for 54 yards.
He's not it.
And Sam Darnold's not it either. 2.3 yards attempt. 2.3.
But do we blame his receivers for some of this? Like, does he really, when you look at the receivers on his team, do you really think, I mean. I
blame receivers. I blame offensive coordinator.
I mean, I blame everybody. I don't think necessarily Bryce Young is the problem. I think he's a part of the problem. But I do
think he's an answer to this problem, though. I don't think he's the solution to their problem.
I think there's still so much to fix with a lot of things within that team. Yes, they have like a decent running game, but I think outside of that, there's still a lot to fix in Carolina. Yeah. And I think it's going to be, he's one of those quarterbacks I think has the talent. He's just on a very bad team that needs a lot of help. And we've seen that with quarterbacks, right? Like some of these guys, they got crazy talent, but they just end up in a really bad spot and they're just trying to dig themselves out. I mean, well, I'm not even going to put him in there. I was going to say Geno Smith, but I don't like Geno Smith, and I don't think he's actually that great, honestly.
Neither do the Raiders.
I mean, the Raiders being the Raiders, like, I don't know. That team's a whole mess too, though. But you look at Geno Smith, like statistically, he's been pretty good the past couple of years. He goes to Vegas. They don't have a whole lot there. They got rid of Jacoby Myers, and he's got really nothing. Now he's got nothing because Bowers is out.
And Jeremy, you brought up earlier about like how this is like a year like where it seems like anybody can win the Super Bowl in the playoffs. Yep. To me, where we go to the other side quickly, Seattle's defense Super Bowl caliber. JSN nasty. The running game's getting going. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. To me, it is like, do we trust Sam Darnold, who had another 2 to 3 turnovers against the Panthers?
Yes.
I mean, great question.
Him to win 3 straight games in the playoffs when the lights are at their brightest.
I mean, he like fool me once, right? Maybe it's like the Minnesota thing. Fool me once, and we're gonna find out because they're in the playoffs. Like we're gonna find out, is this Sam Darnold of Minnesota all over again in Seattle, and you're just getting rinse and repeat with a different uniform?
And you nailed that. You nailed it. Like last year, remember the last week of the season, they played the Lions to win the division, and he just dropped and he laid an egg.
Yep.
Everyone's like, oh, just an aberration. Then what did he do in the playoff game? So this is the same thing. They're fighting for the division and the number 1 seed. If he
need the number 1 seed for his own sake.
Yes. If he legs an egg again this time, nobody's going to believe in them in the playoffs because here we go again.
Yep.
When
it's going to be the boy who cried wolf.
Yes, exactly.
Sam Darnold.
Exactly.
Well, all that being said, Sam Darnold has made history though. You got to give him that. He's the 5th quarterback in NFL history to win 13 games in consecutive season and the first to accomplish this feat with 2 different teams.
Yeah.
So again, he gets away from the Jets, goes to where you went? Was he in Frisco for a while?
He went to the Panthers for 2 years.
Went to the Panthers for 2 years, then Frisco, and then he had that breakout year with Minnesota and has led him to Seattle. And he at one junction during the season, Sam Darnold was playing MVP type caliber football. He was
like last year.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to have to get back to that. And this game Sunday, man, it's huge. Or did they flex it to Saturday? Did they flex this one to Saturday?
I think that's a Saturday one.
Yeah, they flexed this from the Saturday. So
so
big stage for him. Do they get the job done? Jeremy, I'll start with you, then we go to Lawrence.
No.
49. Okay.
I don't think they get the job done. I think somehow they managed to screw this one up. I feel like there's so much pressure on it. I feel like it's one of those I don't know. I have this weird feeling that somehow they're going to crumble under the pressure and they're going to screw it up and everyone's going to sit there and be like, "Yep, see? Happened again. Told you so." Like Lawrence just said. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want to say that. But I feel like I'm right.
No, bro. All right, got my dog there, Bob. What, man?
And I don't root for Sam Darnold because I don't want people in Josh's quarterback class to reach places he hasn't.
He hasn't gone yet.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So that's the Bills' selfish side of me,
which is fair because
Sam
honestly,
Darnold to reach the Super Bowl
because Allen's better. He's just better. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, what about this young man right here? Let's talk about this young man. And
I mean, if you're playing like Division II people the whole game, like they are,
yeah,
like they had the easiest strength of schedule in this century.
Who that? The Patriots?
Yeah.
However, okay, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna play
on your schedule. This is the NFL. Stop it, man.
I'm just saying.
Strength of schedule. He's not wrong with strength schedule. However, I will play devil's advocate. I can't even believe I'm going to do this right now. This is like horrible for me as a Bills fan. But I will say this: regardless, you got to go out there and you win the games, whoever you're playing against.
Right.
Drake May still got to make the throws, regardless if I like him or not. I do not like him. In fact, my boss, if he's watching this, I'm probably going to get a text later about this. But anyway, I mean, you got to make the throws. The guy's got to make catches. And if you look at his roster, it is not like. I look at that roster on paper and I'm like, wow, it's amazing. Like, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, he makes that team better. He's done what he needs to do as a quarterback.
Yes.
I don't like him because he plays for the Patriots. Would I like him if he played for somebody else? I'm not even sure about that. But regardless, like, he's winning games. And we had our opportunity head-to-head against him the first time. And we should have won that game, and we didn't. And we probably shouldn't have blown this past game, and we could have taken the division, and we didn't. So, like, regardless how we slice it, they got to win the games. And the Patriots, hey, they did what they need to do. And honestly, the turnaround is pretty damn impressive. Now, the question is going to be, what's going to happen because of this whole Stephon Diggs incident now? And is that going to change things for the Patriots going in when your best receiver may be out because of all this craziness going on? Which also, wild about his brother on the same day. I'm like, man, that's a rough day for the Diggs family. Like,
it's not a banner day for the Diggs.
No, it is not. It is not at all.
Hey, good morning. But I
mean, with the Patriots
defense, man.
Mike Vrabel, like at the beginning of the season, when we did our preview shows, like I was one of the. I'm thinking a lot of us were like, I predicted the Patriots to make the playoffs because of Mike Vrabel. Like what he instills a culture. The Titans are idiotic for getting rid of him. Like that. Look what they've done since he left.
Nothing.
Like he is a professional. He gets things. He makes his players better. He gets them to buy in. He's a culture builder. And you saw what happened with the 1 year Gerard Mayo, how the culture just went down the tank. And that's from a former Patriot who was there and understood the culture. But Vrabel just has that it factor, and like Jeremy says, I hate it, but it could be the second coming of the pairing of Belichick and freaking Brady, except Drake May's a lot younger, so
a lot
longer period of time to deal with it.
I mean, that's the scary thing. Like this guy let's. I mean, we got to call at this point, right? He's going to win MVP. Like, I mean, Stafford blew it out. See how he does.
Yeah, he blew it. Yeah, I think he blew it Monday.
Like, that's just crazy. Like, this kid's going to win MVP already, which should have been Josh Allen, but that's fine.
You saw this coming last year. And what I think people forget that when he was at North Carolina, I believe it was his sophomore, junior year, he was the consensus #1 quarterback to come projected to come into the National Football League. So the talent has always been there with Drake May. And last year, even with Coach Mayo, you saw signs of the talent of this young man. And then Coach Vrabel comes in, and man, like you said, Tennessee, I don't know why it couldn't work. I believe it was due to the management, not just not seeing things the same way. But man, the Patriots are ecstatic. They got their man. That's the job he wanted. He didn't even look at another job. He wanted that job. He's home. He's enjoying it. And he's got a young franchise quarterback who everybody believes in. And he's only getting better, man. And there's really been no slump for him. Now, Jeremy, you said that the team that scares you the most is the Houston Texans. What scares me about the Texans is their quarterback. Can CJ Stroud
can he do it?
Step his game up? Can he step his game?
Yes.
Can he? He's going to have to.
Yeah, but we've seen it happen, right? Like the problem with CJ is not the fact that he doesn't have the talent and the ability. The fact right now with him more than anything is his inconsistency, right? Like he doesn't scare me as much because with him, if he does go off like he can, that they're going to win. And they've got the defense. Yes. I think their defense is far superior than the Patriots. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Patriots.
That's what I'm scared of, is that.
But the Houston defense is just, they are game wreckers. Every one of those guys. Mm-hmm. They will find ways to beat you and make you beat yourself when you don't even think about it. And they don't need CJ Stroud to throw 5 touchdowns like the Patriots might need out of Drake May. And I think that's the big difference is CJ Stroud could have a bad game and that team's still going to walk away with a win. Drake May has a bad game. I don't see that team walking away with a win.
And we talked about Vrabel, Mason. How many times in the offseason does a team that make the biggest free agency splashes just like crap the bed? New England had a ton of cap spaces here, and look at what they got for it. Milton Williams is playing at a great level. Robert Spillane is playing at a great level. Stephon Diggs is showing, hey, I still got juice in the tank. Mac Hollins, who the Bills let go, has made big plays for them throughout the year. They drafted trade they used their offseason like as good as any team could, marrying the draft and free agency. So that needs to go recognized because we see teams all the time throw money at it and it never works.
Yep.
Yes.
The Patriots spend it on the right people. And again, that's of having Vrabel there is the difference of that. He knew the type of player he wanted that would fit in his system, and that's who they got. And they still have a ton of cap space this year. So Jeremy, you talk about like how their roster doesn't look great. Next year, they're going to be even better.
Which is scary.
Yeah. It's like this.
And because I don't see the Dolphins and the Jets getting any better. So when you look at the division, it's a 2-horse race, I feel like, for the next couple of years out at this point. There's so
iron
much rebuilding.
Iron. That might be the best thing for the Bills to have somebody that makes them keep innovating, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, it may be one and done for Aaron Glenn with the Jets.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
It might be.
And it's because how they're losing. Like, they're not even showing up.
Killed. It's not even close. That team just doesn't even want to be on the field. Like, I said this last week. I feel so bad for Breece Hall. I feel bad.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he'll be out. He'll be out.
He's got to be. So much talent, and what a waste.
He will have a new home.
I hope
watch him go to Kansas City.
Don't even say that.
That would be perfect for them. Like a speed one, catch the ball to the backfield.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for what they need.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. I'm not.
No, I don't want it either, but
don't speak that in the universe, Lawrence.
Don't do it. Man, but listen, thank everybody for joining us here for the Final Score. This is the Come On In Sports Network. You have Mr. Lawrence Foster and Mr. Jeremy, the host of Come On In Bills, and I'm Dolph Jackson, host of As the NFL Turns and the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. If it's your first time and you enjoyed the show, I guarantee you're going to enjoy even more. All you got to do, it don't cost anything. Just hit that button, subscribe, set that notification bell. And we want to invite everybody to join us Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central and 11 a.m. Eastern for As the NFL Turns, our pregame show. We're with you all the way through the Super Bowl. All of us will be in there, plus Coach Rock will be in there. And believe me, you want to tune in when Coach Rock comes in. You never know. First of all, he's like a damn chameleon, because you never know what damn jersey he's going to rock, what team he's with. Now, I don't think you know, but Coach gave y'all the kiss of death Sunday, when he told Jeremy that he's rocking with y'all in the playoffs. So I told Jeremy.
I don't blame Josh. I don't blame Brady anymore. I'm blaming Coach Rock.
I always blame Coach when things go sideways because it's always his fault.
It's like,
I love you, Coach, but man,
shout out to Uneducated Sports Talks. Carlos and PJ is in the building. Real Fan Sports, Nonfiction, and Zach, and Atlanta Falcons Fandemic. Our brother Emmanuel. I'll see you Sunday, my friend. I'll see you Sunday, baby. Well, listen, family, we getting out of here. Thank y'all for joining us. Have a good evening. And remember, the doors are now open. So what we tell them, fellas?
Come on in.
Good night, fam.
The Comma in Sports Network.